including a juvenile Juro spider. Until next time, for the Farm Monitor, I'm Ranger Nick, reminding you, like I always do, that enthusiasm is contagious. Well, how about this beautiful shot? North Georgia, Suches, Georgia, on a beautiful fall day, and I get an opportunity to hang out with a person that's been 5 generations into trout farming. Talk about that for agriculture, and that's Mr. Terry Bramlett. Mr. Bramlett, so good to meet you today.
Thank you, it's a pleasure having you here.
My goodness, and we know about your leadership within Farm Bureau, but I'm learning more and more about your work with trout. This is 46 years in the making, raising trout. Talk to me about a day in the life of Mr. Bramlett as you start off your day looking at these trout, assessing their condition, just like a farmer would when they look at their cattle or chicken. What are you doing to check these fish every day?
Well, the water flow is primary concern, so the first thing we do is make sure the intakes are clean, the screens are clean, so that we have that continuous flow of fresh water to keep the dissolved oxygen content up to an acceptable level.
Beautiful.
After that, feeding takes place. Typically this time of the year we'll feed early morning. Those screens require cleaning throughout the day this time of year because the leaves are falling.
Absolutely.
And we'll feed again in the afternoon or late afternoon. And then we repeat the process over and over.
You talked about the leaves getting in the filters and cleaning those out. I'm looking at this pond though, and it's not a concrete pond. It's not a cement bottom. Talk to me about the sediment on the bottom of this. Why is that a good thing?
Well, it's natural. Concrete is abrasive, and trout reared in concrete will usually have part of the pectoral fins worn away. It doesn't look good, but it's also an open wound, so to speak, and would allow any contaminants in the water, any bacteria that might be present, it'd be an entryway for that. But it also produces a great color in the fish. The natural conditions, sand bottom, there's some rocks there as well, but they have beautiful natural color, and for the fishing industry, that's extremely important. This trout looks like a trout.
Yeah.
Whenever it comes out of the water.
Now, don't worry, we're not cooking up those trout just yet, but I do want to bring a friend of the Ranger Nick series to you now, and that's Dr. J. Shelton. Hey, Dr. Shelton. Gosh, we've been together several of these, and it's so nice to be able to say, finally, you're a retired faculty member from the University of Georgia. But Dr. Shelton, I want to talk about getting those trout and that image and that message of those trout into a school system and in front of children, in front of teachers. Talk to us a little bit about Trout Unlimited and how that partnership with the University of Georgia and the Warnell School works.
Well, we have a wonderful, wonderful program called Trout in the Classroom. And Trout in the Classroom is a national program sponsored by Trout Unlimited, which is a national conservation organization. And that Trout in the Classroom program gives students, young students, the opportunity to actually bring live fish into the classroom. They actually bring trout eggs into the classroom, they incubate those eggs, they start to watch that entire process. Through that process, so many, we talk about STEM and the importance of STEM disciplines. There's so many opportunities to teach lessons about science, technology, engineering, math, through the use of those live animals. Those trout are reared, cared for, grown. They learn about the ecology of the fish, they learn about the ecosystems where those fish thrive, and then eventually at the end of that cycle, those fish are released out into waters here in Georgia.
So now what I want to do is make sure that we know there's a Farm Bureau connection to this as well, isn't there?
That's what's so cool about being on this episode for me, is that it really brings several different worlds together. So Farm Bureau has been such an advocate for agriculture in Georgia for so long, and my connection to Mr. Bramlett comes through Farm Bureau, but he also assists in the Trout in the Classroom program. He assists with that education of those young folks with the conservation efforts of Trout Unlimited. And Trout Unlimited actually sponsors a coldwater scholarship program where we actually have a scholarship for students who are interested in learning more about our cold water resources, trout, and the habitats that they live in. So it really pulls in a lot of different things that we all find interesting and fun.
about the eggs first, and then we'll get to them getting on a truck and going to a restaurant. How does it start?
Certainly. We hatch 50,000 eggs every 2 months. And of course, with the hatching process, each of those 50,000 eggs has an eggshell, and those have to be removed manually. So as you can imagine, it's a labor-intensive process.
And you have a big team doing this, right?
Well, the big team of Ruth and myself.
There you go, local.
Yeah, we do it ourselves, and we start those tiny alevins off with just a little powder of food, and we generally do that about 6 or 7 times a day in the beginning stages to get them started eating.
Okay.
It takes us 1 year to go from hatch to 1 pound, so they're slow growing. If I can keep the fish the second year, we can go up as high as 3 pounds with good growing conditions.
It's a large fish.
But it takes a while to get them up to market size.
So you're removing those shells, then these things, we have to reduce their stress, as you were sharing with me. We got to get them out of the water into a truck before they can get to the restaurant. Who's doing that?
Well, Ruth and yours truly.
Mr. Bramlett and Mrs. Bramlett, okay.
Yeah, we do virtually everything here, the two of us, and some of it we have automated. Some of the loading processes on larger quantities we can lift with a hydraulic boom and drop into the tanks, but most of our stuff is done by hand. And certainly with the restaurant type business, where we have to grade the fish by size, requires a delicate touch. You have to recognize a 16-ounce fish versus an 18-ounce fish versus a 20-ounce fish. Chefs are very, and justifiably so, very concerned about uniformity in portion size.
Sure.
So if they order 50, 16-ounce trout, they want 50, 16-ounce trout.
Georgia grown.
Indeed, they're Georgia grown, and we can have them from our farm to their kitchen in a matter of 3 or 4 hours. So it's the freshest thing on their menu.
Mr. Bramlett, thank you so much for today. Thank you for spending time with me. Thank you for what you're doing for Georgia agriculture, too.
Well, it's a pleasure having you here, and Georgia Farm Bureau and Agriculture in Georgia is a big family, and we're very proud to be a part of it.
Well, we're proud you are too, and you put up with me too. So thanks for that today. Well, y'all know what to do. Hop online, check out more about what's going on at this farm, and check out the Ranger Nick Facebook page and see what the folks at the Monitor are doing. Until next time, I'm Ranger Nick reminding you, as I always do, that enthusiasm is contagious. So pass it on. Y'all, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you right back here again this time next month. See ya. Holding a juvenile Juro spider. Until next time, for the Farm Monitor, I'm Ranger Nick, reminding you, like I always do, that enthusiasm is contagious.